All right, everybody, welcome to the Detox Workshop. I'm Dr. Jake, and if you haven't had a chance to meet me yet, I'm the proud owner and lead doctor at Freedom Family Chiropractic. We've been serving the Garner and Raleigh area for well over a decade, like 11 and a half years, helping people in a holistic, vitalistic way, helping you heal naturally God's way. And how we do that in our clinic is through the five essentials. So we've been following the max living approach in our clinic since we've opened in 2015. And not only through chiropractic care, not only through addressing the health of the spine and the nerve system, but through nutrition, proper mindset, and how we think about our health, through exercise and oxygen, and also by minimizing toxins. That's one of the big things that we're going to be talking about tonight is minimizing toxins. So before we get into the meat of everything, I just want to give you a little bit of what to expect. If you're a note taker, get your pen and paper out tonight. You're going to learn some good stuff. If you're not a note taker, get your pen and paper out because you're going to still learn some good stuff. Uh, Research shows that people that write things down, people that take notes, they apply it more. They get more out of it. So if you're in a place where you can, highly recommend it. And specifically when I'm talking about this topic, I've got to do a little bit of a pre-frame because sometimes people get really overwhelmed. And here's what you don't want to do. Like there's two extremes. Like one side of it, it's like people are like, "Oh my gosh, there's so many bad things out there and it's so terrible. There's no way I can avoid all these toxins, so I'm just not going to do anything." It's kind of like they get overwhelmed and then they just are paralyzed by it. You don't want to be that person. That's not a healthy response to it. And the other side is they're like, "Oh man, I need to change all these things and there's all these toxins that I have to avoid." And then they get neurotic and I have to change this and this and this and this. And yes, it's good that you're taking action, but that's not a healthy approach either. You can get too overzealous to where you're getting neurotic and stressing yourself out, and then you're causing other health issues by that. We want to be right here in the middle. We want to we want to not be scared. We want to be aware. So remember that. It's not about being scared, it's about being aware. And when you're aware, you can take a diligent, thoughtful approach to taking action steps on how to get better. So tonight, I want you to take one, two, maybe three action steps of what you can do differently to minimize and eliminate toxins from the body. And one really cool thing is that some of the approaches, some of the things that I get to talk about are brand new supplements, brand new health detox protocols that you have the first access to in the world right now. Some of the first people that are going to be able to hear about these, try these, get the amazing health benefits from. In fact, there's a brand new clinician line called Kingdom Health Sciences that was developed by the world's top supplement formulator, Jordan Rubin, and he's the author of the Maker's Diet. He's the founder of the Garden of Life, which is a multi-million dollar, $100 million supplement company these days. He started that 20 years ago. He also was the founder of Ancient Nutrition Supplement Company, along with Dr. Josh Axe. And now we get to work with Jordan, and he's formulating for Kingdom Health Sciences. And some of these products are some of the first of their kind on the market addressing modern day toxicity issues. And you guys will be some of the first ones to have access to that. So maybe your action steps tonight are number one, becoming aware, and number two, the action some action steps are Maybe it is getting on a supplement protocol and purchasing that. Maybe it's applying some of the other health tips that we're going to be talking about as well. And then stay tuned to the end because I'm raffling off two detox supplements. So we're going to have two winners of some of these amazing supplements that I'm going to talk about. So if you stick with us, you might win something really awesome tonight as well. So we're going to get right into it. All right. So let's look at some of the symptoms of toxicity. These are the five. We'll look at the symptoms actually in just a second. First, these are the five major toxins that we're going to talk about that I told you guys that we would. Heavy metals, parasites, mold, microplastics, and glyphosate. Some of these I've been talking about for years. Like when I first, like 12 years ago, when we first started doing detox workshops, heavy metals, mold, been around forever. Parasites have been also around forever. We got to talk about them more though. But things like microplastics, we weren't talking about that 10 years ago. Glyphosate, yeah, they were spraying glyphosate and Roundup 10 years ago, but it's gotten so much worse, so much more prevalent. And the health problems are more known than ever before. We've got to talk about these modern toxicity issues. Let's look at some of the symptoms of toxicity. I'm going to give you just 15 to 20 seconds yourselves. Just read some of these on the screen. Read them over here.
Is the video off too?
Just take a picture.
All right. I'll do a little color commentary on some of these. So the top left, you're going to see some neurological issues, central nervous system issues, brain fog, memory loss, can't concentrate. Other neurological issues like muscle tremors, muscle tics, balance and coordination issues, even like numbness and tingling from toxicity. Then you've got mental health issues from toxicity, anxiety, depression, major irritability and mood swings, insomnia, sleeping problems. You can't fall asleep at night, or you're waking up all the time. You can't stay asleep. You have chronic fatigue throughout the day. You have no energy, unexplained headaches or migraine headaches, even achy joints and muscle pain can be from toxic issues. Unexplained weight issues, usually weight gain. One of the big contributors to something called weight loss resistance is due to toxicity. Of course, it can cause hair and nail issues, thinning hair, you're losing your hair, skin issues, digestive issues like constipation or diarrhea or both, or fluctuating between the two, even blood pressure issues from toxicity, kidney issues, liver issues. And these are just like, these are symptoms, some severe. There's, organ system failure, heart problems, liver failure, kidney failure, brain disorders, and early death if toxicity becomes unaddressed for long periods of time. So if you relate to any of these symptoms, they could be coming from toxicity. First of the two toxins that I want to talk about tonight are heavy metals and mold. So heavy metals, a lot of these are going to be coming from polluted water or just contaminated water. And that is why even tap water, like, I'm sorry, but the public water system, like tap water, is not really doing much for us. If you are still drinking tap water, that is probably one of the first things that you need to do. And the bare minimum is like getting one of those zero water home filters. They cost, I don't know, $50 and you can get at least something. Like even a Brita filter, and that doesn't do a great job, but something is going to be better than just drinking tap water. So filtering your water, ideally like distilled or reverse osmosis or something that's going to make sure you get your heavy metals out of the water. A lot also heavy metals are going to be coming from just again a lot of the pollutants from manufacturing that gets dumped into the oceans, rivers, Great Lakes. So a lot are in the water sources. And then also cosmetics. Cosmetics have quite a bit. So females are going to be more prone to heavy metals because, females use more cosmetics. So when it comes to cosmetics, switching to like toxin-free, organic toxin-free, makeups and cosmetic type of personal care products. Also, so it's just some specifics. You got mercury, lead, cadmium, arsenic, aluminum, and to a lesser degree, chromium and nickel are all heavy metals. Also, fish is a significant source of mercury toxicity, especially larger fishes from unclean waters. So, like sharks, swordfish, tuna, which is classically known for large amounts. I'm not saying don't eat fish, but the larger fish, like really, really big fish, and eating that really regularly. So, if you can get good fish from clean sources, also, smaller fish are going to have less percentage ratios of mercury as well. But your biggest thing is going to be avoiding it heavy metals in your water. And sure, there's some other sources. You've got old pipes, old um, lead pipes, old houses that have lead paint. There's not as much of that, but there is still some sources of that. So, heavy metals do get into the body on a pretty regular basis. So, this is something that pretty much everybody does need to address to varying degrees. Also, mold. So you might not think that your house has a mold issue, but I would I highly recommend to be regularly readdressing mold in your living quarters. Get this. When it comes to mold, 47%, 40, where's my notes here? Huh, there it is. All right. 47% of US homes contain visible mold or detectable ongoing water issues. That's almost half. Um, 45 million buildings nationwide harbor unhealthy mold levels. They're often you can't see it right away. Oftentimes it's hidden behind walls, it's under floors, it's in attics, it's in your basement. You kind of got to know what to look for. And sometimes um, there's signs of, well, there's like warning signs of the mold. We personally went through this about 5 years ago or so. And just all of a sudden, Dr. Christie developed this chronic little cough. She'd like cough before bed and she'd cough a little bit at night. And then she'd wake up in the morning and I know she'd cough. And then I realized one day, I'm like, why are you coughing all the time? Like, what's going on? Well, we found mold like developing behind this nightstand. We were like both breathing it in all night. And so it wasn't just from there though, it was developing. The spores were proliferating in our basement and the HVAC was just blowing it through the house. One of the biggest things you got to do in your home is make sure that your humidity levels are under control. Um, if your humidity is under 50%, your mold is not going to grow. Now, it doesn't mean it's all going to get destroyed, but it won't grow any further. So, I'm a big fan of having dehumidifiers in some of the most prevalent areas. Probably could use another one in our house, like in the attic space and stuff. In fact, we had to do probably $10,000 plus of mold remediation, like get the mold out, do an air scrubber, ripped out the leaky bottom part of the shower, and then put in the dehumidifier. Then we had encapsulation done. So if you can kind of look out for this stuff earlier on and just be aware as part of your, every 6 month house checks type of thing and looking at this stuff. Otherwise, if you're never thinking about it, it could get worse and it could cost you ten to $50,000 later. So being aware of mold, guys, most of us, we live in North Carolina. It's like a sweltering jungle half the year here, with all the humidity. So the southern states that if you're in North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, these areas are more prone to it than other parts of the country. So just be aware of mold, be on the lookout for that, and that can go a long way. However, what about most of us have already been exposed to heavy metals. We've already been exposed to some levels of mold on some way. So, what are some natural things that we can do to cleanse and get this stuff out of the body? Now, by no means do I have a totally comprehensive deep dive on this. I mean, I could have a whole weekend, 3-day workshop on this topic, but I want to give you at least a couple of things that you can do. And one of my favorite um, detoxifying protocols or detoxifying things that you can do, not just for mold and heavy metals, but for other health benefits, is this infrared sauna. So, infrared sauna, it uses infrared wavelengths to penetrate deep into the tissues to raise your core body temperature to cause a bunch of a good sweating. That is the key, is to sweat this stuff out. So this is an amazing detoxification pathway. I get this stuff out of the body, and not only does the research show that it gets heavy metals out, but also mycotoxins as well. So that's going to include your mold detox with it. This actually right here is the unit that we have in our home. But you don't have to get like a super big unit or anything like that. You can get a smaller one-person unit. They have like little floor units. They can be, relatively inexpensive. You don't have to get a $8,000-$10,000 big, model type of a thing. Or you don't have to buy one at all. You can go to your local health club, or some massage therapy places have it. Some regenerative health clinics have it. We've considered getting it, but space is an issue in the office. But there is local health and wellness spaces or gyms that you can get infrared sauna at affordable prices, and you can do it regularly. If you're not used to detoxifying or doing sauna sessions, I recommend starting with like a 15 to 20-minute session. I personally like to get like a 30-minute session. I feel like I can get a super good sweat in. I rarely recommend longer than 45 minutes. I'd rather do a 30-minute session more regularly than a 45-minute to hour session less regularly. So I think 30 minutes, you can sweat out a ton of toxins, just be dripping. And the cool thing about infrared is you do not have to have like, 180-degree temperatures. You can have it, 120 to 130, 115 to 130 degrees and still sweat it out because it penetrates deeper and raises your core body temperature faster. And you're going to get a lot of toxins out of the body. And I'm starting with this specific way of detoxifying tonight because it's way more than just detox. It's helps with muscle recovery from workouts and just everyday use. It helps with pain relief. It helps your cardiovascular system. It helps you burn extra calories. I was doing a calculation the other day from my 30-minute sauna session, and it was like, I think it was like a couple hundred. Oh, I think it was like almost, I think it was like 200 calories. And I was like, okay, so how much is that? And it was like more than my breakfast snack, or more than like the more, definitely like more than all the cream that I use in my organic coffee in the morning. So I was like, sweet, extra calories burned. That's an extra bonus. So it helps with weight management. And the last thing I want to say about it, sleep. of all the things in the last 12 years that I've looked at that help with sleep, and I'm talking about different types of supplements, um, red light therapy, helping with your circadian rhythm, helping with peptide supplements. And some of these are somewhat effective, but the two best things for sleep, a chiropractic adjustment, especially before bed, chiropractic adjustments, and a close second, if not tied, in my opinion, infrared sauna. When I track my HRV, my sleep scores, and how long I stay asleep at night, like chiropractic adjustments probably number one, and a close second, if not tied, is infrared sauna. When I do infrared sauna before bed and then take a quick shower, go right to bed, I sleep incredibly well. So that's just some extra benefits of infrared sauna. All right, next thing. So if sweating through infrared sauna helps get toxins out, what else can you do to sweat? That costs no money at all is exercise. So you can sweat toxins out just through vigorous exercise. So I picked this picture specifically because this girl must have been working hard. I mean, she is dripping sweat. Almost looks like she was either in a sauna or maybe even jumped in the pool as she's dripping wet. I don't imagine most people sweating that much, but I did it because I wanted to show you that if you're exercising with enough intensity to get some good to moderate sweating, you're going to also be able to get these toxins out of the body. So heavy metals are tested through sweat, more so than even excretion, more so than through the urine, more so through than the bowels. In fact, 10 to 30 times more heavy metals will be excreted through sweat than even through the urine. So I'm a huge fan of vigorous exercise, but you can do it. Doesn't have to be a single type of exercise. You can do it through weightlifting. You can, if you're sweating through your shirt through weightlifting or, hit training, or even if you're walking. Now, I consider walking relatively low intensity, but you can bump it up a little bit. If you're walking hills, especially in the summertime or, hot part of the year, you're walking hills or you add a weighted vest, you can easily, or going at a brisk pace, you can get some good sweating in there. So, just another way to help with mold and with heavy metals. Again, there are deeper and even more specific supplement protocols that you can do for these. If you'd like any tips there, you can message me or ask me or email me and we can help you with that as well. But these are two great ways to help with heavy metals and mold. All right, let's talk about the gross one, the one that some people avoid, and that's parasites. And I picked probably the best picture that was the least grotesque that still conveyed the point that intestinal worms, intestinal parasites are something that we got to address and talk about. And ignorance is not bliss when it comes to this topic, my friends. When this gets brought up, some people are like, "Oh, I don't want to hear about that. Oh, I don't want to talk about that." Well, if there is a freight train coming down the tracks at you 100 miles an hour, it's not bliss when you get smushed and ran over by it and die. And the same is true when you talk about parasites. Like, here's the thing, it's not just this obscure thing that only happens in third world countries. It happens in America. It's happening to everybody. You either have parasites right now, had parasites and got rid of them, or you will be having them, or a combination of all three. Like you have, you had, or you will. So we have to address it's not weird. It's just a part of life. So where are these things coming from? Well, mostly they're going to be coming from undercooked like raw fish, undercooked pork, undercooked beef, fruits and vegetables that haven't been washed real good from the dirt, polluted water. Um, these are going to be some of the main common ones. And you've got the helminths, which are the worms. And I'm going to read off a few of them. So you got pinworms, tapeworms, roundworms, hookworms, rope worms, and liver flukes. And these can cause some really bad issues. Um, Gastrointestinal worms can cause bowel obstruction, severe inflammation. They can block liver ducts, bile ducts. They can form cysts, abscesses, long-term liver infections, cholecystitis, cirrhosis of the liver. I mean, some really severe people can die from parasite infections. And oftentimes they're not properly diagnosed, and they're like, oh, you had liver cirrhosis, but they never said why. And then there's autopsies done, and these are caused from parasites. A lot of different health issues can be caused from parasites. Can cause heart problems. Some parasites can invade the heart muscle. They can get into the bloodstream and destroy red blood cells, cause anemia and blood loss. They can get into the lungs. Um, and even tapeworms can get into the brain. And you can have ocular parasites. In fact, I mean, I'm not freaking out about this, but I've had some vision issues the last 3, 4, 5 years, and I'm actually looking into doing some more research if it could be possibly a parasitic type of a thing. I'm not sure, but it can happen. So, what do we do? Well, avoidance is a good first step, but you're not going to completely avoid all these. So, when it comes to avoidance, um, wash your fruits and vegetables, purify your water, pets. I've got 3 Shelties, so I know how hard this can be, especially when they love you. But like letting your dogs or your cats or your pets lick your face or your arms or your hands or your legs, like if your pets are licking you on a regular basis, like you're gonna have more higher probability to parasitic type of things going on. Um, or if you're the type of person that's, you your dog licks side of your drink and then you drink your drink. Don't do that. You might love them enough, but it's not, you don't want to be adding extra ways to get more parasites. There's already enough things to get them. So pets, and then like, of course, like fecal material contamination. So just, washing your hands, washing your fruits and vegetables, purifying your water. Um, those are where a lot of it comes from. Oh, and then the undercooked meats and raw fish. Sushi is classically known. And yeah, I mean, do I eat sushi? Sometimes I do. But I'm also making sure that I'm cleansing parasites at least twice a year, at least every 6 months. Some people need to do more often than that, but just a general rule, everybody should be doing some sort of parasite cleanse every 6 months. And I've done cleanses um, with different products over the years, and some of them are complex, 5, 6 supplements at a time. You got to take them at specific times of the day, some with food or some without food. They're good. I'm not saying I won't ever do any of those again, but the parasite cleanse that I just finished up and one that I will be recommending um or for right now that I like the best right now is this one right here. So this is a brand new parasite cleanse. It's called Cytal P, and that is also formulated from by Jordan Rubin. And this is a 14-day intensive clinical parasite cleanse. You take 6 capsules a day. And the cool thing I like about it is it's just one supplement. It's only one bottle of stuff that you have to keep track of. You can take it any time of the day. You just take it every day for 2 weeks. It can be with food, it can be without food. So they make it super easy. And what I love about this, besides that it's easy, is that it's a multi-phase strategy. So it hits the parasites in the different phases. You know, they got the egg, you got the larvae, then you got the adults. So you want to be able to kill them at all phases. But also it's multi-phase in the fact that it helps disrupt and kill the parasites. It helps eliminate them, getting them, excreting them properly. And then also a really important piece that this has is it helps to re-inoculate your microbiome. So it's got the killers, the sidles like black walnut hull, just classically known to kill parasites. Andrographis. This is a herb from India and Sri Lanka. It's known as the king of bitters. It's a really bitter herb. It does a great job killing worms specifically. It's got spirulina and trifala, which are another plants and herbs that are going to help kill parasites. And then it also has some probiotics to be able to re-inoculate the gut so that even though it's killing the parasites, it doesn't leave the gut just like in a harsh state, which I really like about this. Um, so yeah, you can the Cytal P. It's now available at the clinic at Freedom Family Chiropractic, or you can go online and purchase it from our online store. Um, so we do have a few of these in stock in the office right now, so you can purchase one in the office. We're directing more people to our online store. So, Dr. Christie, if you could put a link to our online store. A lot of people don't know this, but if you go to freedomfamilychiro.com, just our general website, and you click the store button, that'll take you all the supplements that I have access to. You can purchase on our website. Most people don't know that. So you can, if Dr. Christie would make it even easier for us and just put the store link, the Freedom Family Chiro store link and then you just search for the Cytal P or search for whatever supplements. And actually, it has a subscribe and save button on there as well, where you can get like a 5 to 10% discount on it if you order it regularly. So you can get this either in the office and pick it up or online. All right. Next, glyphosate. So glyphosate is sprayed at unbelievable amounts. So if you're not familiar with the word glyphosate, you might be familiar with the word Roundup, because Roundup is the branded product or the branded um, chemical that they spray on the crops. So you see this tractor here, they're spraying all these chemicals on it. And you've got Roundup Ready corn and Roundup Ready soybeans, and they probably have other Roundup Ready stuff. So basically, what they've done to make things even worse over the years, they've genetically modified crops. So glyphosate is an herbicide. It kills plants. It kills all sorts of weeds. It kills almost everything living plants. But what they've done is they've genetically modified these crops like corn and soy so that they don't die from the chemical. But everything else dies so that there's no weed competition. So they'll grow up real big, but they harvest it and then they feed the chemical sprayed crops to us and to all of our animals and livestock, which then we eat them too. And get this. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. Um, in fact, there's so many pounds of chemicals of glyphosate sprayed annually in the world. My calculator, like it didn't do the math. So it's I think it was over 1.5. It was at least billion because my calculator only goes up to like hundreds of millions. So I think it's 1.5 billion pounds are used globally each year. 300 million are just in the United States. 300 million pounds. Like that's how much chemicals. So, and it's not just going on the crops that we're eating, it gets into the waterways, it gets into the rivers, it gets into the lakes, it gets into the streams, and that gets into our leaks into our water system, and that's why we're drinking it and eating it. So we've got to make sure we're filtering our water. Do not eat commercial corn and soy. I wouldn't eat soy of any kind. I don't, soy is not good for you, even if it is organic. But corn, you want to buy organic corn and avoid commercial stuff as much as possible so you're not consuming this glyphosate, because glyphosate is a known carcinogen. Monsanto that produces Roundup, I mean, they're like the devil. I mean, Monsanto has killed so many thousands of people. It's crazy. And they just keep poisoning us. And they're in cahoots with the pharmaceutical companies and own pharmaceuticals and big ag and big pharma. They just they just want to put as many chemicals in us as they possibly can. And liver and kidney issues, organ and neurological developmental issues. Um, what else? Glyphosate, liver inflammation, metabolic dysfunction. University of California, Berkeley showed that glyphosate is increased with the metabolic disease, especially in early adulthood. It wrecks your gut microbiome. It disrupts your hormones, disrupts your DNA. It's a known neurotoxin and also leads to neurodegenerative conditions like Parkinson's disease and early death. So it's not to be taken lightly. Again, we're not freaking out. We're not going crazy or anything, but we need to seriously stop spraying this stuff, stop using this stuff. And even though farmers will continue to use it, stop buying those crops with that stuff sprayed on it and filter our water as much as possible to avoid it. You're still not going to completely avoid it, but you can minimize it. And then also detoxify the body. So, what's one of the best ways to detoxify glyphosate? This is the only product that I know of on the market that specifically detoxifies glyphosate. I've heard of one other one, but this is the only one that I've seen. And I'm really happy to introduce to you guys this brand new glyphosate supplement from Kingdom Health Sciences. Here's what it does. So, I um, I am currently taking this supplement right now. I just finished the Parasite Cleanse by Kingdom Health Sciences, and I just finished the microplastics one, which I'm going to talk about that one in a minute. You might have heard about that one in the office recently. But I'm doing this month, I'm detoxifying glyphosate. This contains some really powerful probiotics, specific probiotics that that metabolize and break down glyphosate. And then it also contains humic soil extract that has humic acid and fulvic acid, which also neutralizes glyphosate. So that's really cool. So some specific probiotics that'll do it, along with fulvic and humic acid. They do a really good job of breaking it down and metabolizing it. And here's the other thing about glyphosate. It really wrecks the gut lining. It really destroys the gut barrier, and that leads to leaky gut. You might have heard of this. So, leaky gut syndrome. And then not only can glyphosate get into the bloodstream through going through the gut barrier, which it should not be there, it allows those gaps in the gut barrier allow other things to get into the bloodstream and into places that they shouldn't be. And this leads to autoimmune issues, autoimmune conditions. So we've got to protect and heal the gut lining as well. And that's why there's a specific collagen in this supplement that helps heal and repair and protect the gut lining. So looks like I'm lapsing a little bit. Um, Let me ask Dr. Christie, are we good? Um, is my internet okay? Hopefully I'll get a hopefully I'll get a message here. I just saw me lapsing. Okay, cool. We're good. If you have any questions so far, drop them in the chat. Dr. Christie and I can get some of those answered. And just wanted to make sure that we're all good, that you guys can see me and hear me still. All right. So just to recap, the probiotics and the humic and fulvic acid break down and destroy the glyphosate. And then um, the specific type of collagen is going to help heal and repair the gut barrier. So this is a great way. You can pick this up in the office, or you can go to our website and order it online as well. All right. Next, we're going to talk about microplastics. So microplastics are more of an issue today than ever before. Plastics are in everything. Get this. 10 to 40 million metric tons are dumped into the environment every year. And what's worse is that number is going to double by 2040. So in the next 14 years now, about that's going to be like 20 to 80 million tons a year. So where is this stuff? Where are we getting this stuff? Oh, one other thing I wanted to tell you about that. Harvard did a study that suggests that the average American is eating about a credit card size of plastic every week. We're eating a credit card size of microplastics every week. So how much is that a year? 52 weeks in a year. It's a lot of plastics. So what are the microplastics doing? Well, the microplastics are causing what? Hormone disruption, plastics, such as phthalates and flame retardants. These are also issues that are part of plastics. Um, yeah, so hormone disruption, I think, is the biggest issue. But this stuff can get into the lungs, the blood, the liver, placenta, breast milk, brain tissue, and cause a host of health issues from all the microplastics. So, I have another list of diseases along with. Oh, here it is. Here's some other problems: cell and DNA damage from microplastics, heart attacks, strokes, and cognitive dysfunction. So I don't think there's any way we're going to be completely avoiding microplastics, but some big ones are going to be um, cutting boards, plastic cutting boards. This one was a big wake up call for me. Just like 2 months ago, I threw away my plastic cutting board. If you looked at my cutting board, you I literally, there was little chunks that looked like this picture right here that were gone from it. And where did those go? Well, they got chopped up and they got probably brushed right into my food from the knife. So if you use a plastic cutting board, do yourself a favor, throw that baby away. I know it might be hard to part with if it's become a good friend of yours. And they're practical, they're easy to wash, but they're not good for your health. So you definitely want to not be using a plastic cutting board anymore. Also, drinking out of plastic bottles, especially like plastic water bottles, plastic soda bottles that you buy from the store. Um, they leach a lot of microplastics. And then Tupperware containers that you store food with and then specifically heat up. You really want to avoid using plastic Tupperware containers. And then other stuff is just unavoidable stuff. Like you're actually breathing in certain microplastics. And that's why purifying your water is really good, because these microplastics are in the water. So you can avoid most of them a lot of them if you're getting good purified water and not using plastics. Somebody did ask me, actually, I had two people in the last week ask me like about microplastics and that we use plastic supplement bottles. This is not going to be your main source of leaching from microplastics. Now, I'm not going to drink out of this. I'm not going to drink out of this. I'm not going to drink hot water out of it. I'm not going to heat my food up in it and scrape it out of it. I'm not going to use it as cutting board. but it's a dry capsule that's in a plastic container. You're going to get little to no microplastic leaching from just housing a supplement inside of this. So I am not worried about my supplements being stored in a plastic container, but I'm certainly not drinking, heating it up, or eating food out of it or reusing it on a regular basis. So that's my 2 cents on that question. So what can we do? Now, we talked about avoiding microplastics. What can we do to get them out of the body? This supplement line doesn't even really exist yet. This is the very first supplement that I've even seen. We're very thankful to have it. You guys have first access to it, and this is our microplastics supplement by Kingdom Health Sciences. This is going to be a targeted defense approach against microplastics. So it's going to break them down, attach them, basically bind them, eliminate, and then guard from future microplastics. So a couple of things that it has in it: okra fruit and fermented fenugreek. These have a really awesome, like goo-like gelatinous substance that in clinical studies have shown to be able to bind and absorb microplastics in a soluble environment. So the digestive tract is a soluble environment, so this works well in the gut. And this is going to be able to bind and absorb microplastics. But the other thing that this supplement does, it helps your gut with your probiotics for gut motility, for better detox pathways through the gut, and it helps the liver and kidney pathways. So the liver and the kidney are going to be a separate mechanism of how you're going to be able to detoxify microplastics from other parts of the body as well. So not just the gut lining, but also if these things do get into the blood or other parts of the liver and the kidney, this is going to help open up those pathways to flush them as well. So first one of the first products of its kind to help us with a modern toxicity issue. Now, how often should you be taking these? So with the parasite cleanse, I say you take it at least every 6 months. I think, as a general maintenance, that's a good rule. If you've not parasite cleansed before, I'd maybe do it back to back months and then go every 6 months. With the microplastics and with the glyphosate, I'm recommending quarterly. This is something we're exposed to more frequently. These are not something that I usually recommend to be taking every month, ongoing forever. But the remediate line, which is the microplastics and the glyphosate, I think a good is either every other month or quarterly, and then the parasite cleanse I'd be taking every 6 months would be ideal. So it's a great way. Again, you could pick it up in the office or order it on our website. One or two other last kind of things as we're finishing up. We're getting close to the raffle in a few minutes. Here is another detox supplement that I have been using and promoting in the office for a very long time. In fact, since the first day that we opened this supplement, it's been updated a little bit, reformulated a little bit, but the meat and the main effectiveness of this thing has pretty much been unchanged for like 15 plus years. And I love this detox system because not only have I seen amazing results with it from patients over the years, like when I have so many stories of patients losing 2, 3, 5, I think 10 pounds was the most I've seen somebody lose in a month on this thing. Obviously, not everybody loses 10 pounds on it, but a lot of people who detox are losing 2, 3 pounds at least. If you have gunk to get out, also increased digestive motility, not like an overabundance of it. This is not like a cleanse where you're going to be on the toilet for like, 5 times a day or anything crazy like that. Um, It's pretty gentle on the digestive system. But what I like about it is it's a very effective two-part system. So it's got the cell detox. You take 2 capsules on an empty stomach, and it's got chlorella, spirulina, and milk thistle, which are powerful detoxifiers. And then it has 3 amino acids, and these are precursors to glutathione, so your body can make more glutathione. That's your body's master detoxifier, one of your master antioxidants. And this gets down to the cellular level and pulls toxins out of the cells. And instead of just stopping there and letting it pull it out of the cells so that only some of it gets excreted from the body, what happens when you detox is some of the toxins actually get reabsorbed back into the body, which is not fun because you want all the toxins out, and you can get that can cause like headaches and nausea and some detox symptoms if toxins get reabsorbed. So the second part is really crucial. It's a binder. And so you've got the body detox, which is the second part, is as activated charcoal and magnesium. So once these toxins get pulled out, it's going to bind it so that it's safely eliminated through the bowel, and you're going to get more toxins out. It's going to be easier on the digestive tract, even more effective, making you a healthier person. So that's another supplement that we sell in the office that you can try as well. This is also one that I recommend doing on a quarterly basis. Actually, I took this every day for like 6 years. And then I found out later on that it doesn't need to be taken that often, but I don't think there's any harm by doing it. It's just not necessary. But I would say quarterly would be a great goal for that. And if cost is an issue, maybe like only every 6 months. Now, with that being said, you can you could take the best supplements in the world, and you can have the best health, regimen on the planet, but they're only going to be as effective as what your body can do with those supplements. So what you have to ask yourself, all these detox organs, your liver, your kidneys, your intestines, your lungs, your lungs are a huge detox organ. How are those working? How are those organs detoxifying? And if you want them functioning at 100%, you have to ask yourself what controls and what coordinates all the detox organs in your body. And the answer to that is absolutely, hands down, no questions asked, the central nervous system. Your nervous system controls and coordinates all organs, all tissues, and every single cell in your body, for your heart to breathe, for your lungs to breathe, for your food to digest, for you to detoxify these toxins. That amazing healing power that God put inside of your body, it flows from the brain down your spinal cord, across the nerves to every single organ in your body. And the reason that your spine is so important is your spine is what surrounds and protects your brainstem, spinal cord, and nerves. So from the side view, looking at this picture, the spine has to have 3 curves: a curve in your lower back, your mid back, and your neck. From the front view, your spine has to be completely straight and your hips have to be level. And when your spine is in that position, that's when your brain is able to send those signals to heal your body as close to 100% as possible. Here's the problem. If your spine has shifted out of its normal position, like if you've lost the curvature in your neck, or if your head is too far forward, or if your hips are rotated, or if you have a abnormal curvature in your lower back, that misalignment puts pressure on the nerves. And if those nerves are going into your liver, instead of your liver working and cleansing at 100%, now let's say it's only working at 50%. So only half of the function. How well is your body going to detoxify? Even if you took all these supplements that I recommended, even if you took the best supplements in the world, which a lot of these are, how well are those supplements going to work? How well are you going to be able to detoxify if those nerves going to your liver are being pressed on. Good or not so good?
Not so good.
Not good. So, one of the number one things that you can do for your health, and not just staying out of pain. Of course, we want to keep you out of pain. We want you pain free and active, not just staying out of pain, but to help your immune system and to help your body detoxify as good as possible. Because those nerves are not just going to your liver, they're going to your kidneys, they're going to your lymphatic system, your digestive, all these detox organs. You want them functioning at 100%, getting regular chiropractic care and doing your spinal at home exercises may just be the most important detox step that you can do. So, thankfully, most of you listening here tonight are regular chiropractic patients in our office. Do yourself a favor and keep taking care of your spine and your nerve system. I've been getting adjusted over 23 years. I'll be getting adjusted till the week that I die. And I'm still doing my spinal at home exercises as well. Um, Now, if somebody here today is not currently getting adjusted or have not had their spine and nerve system checked in the last 6 months, that's definitely your next step. And that's where you schedule an appointment. You come into our office, we'll do a full spinal exam, consult, plus any necessary x-rays to determine the root cause of any health issues that you might be dealing with. And we can help you from there. So if you want to schedule an appointment, you can just go to our website, go to freedomfamilychiro.com, request an appointment, and we'll reach out to you and we'll give you details and we can answer any questions that you have and we can help you from there. But I'll argue that that might be the most important takeaway that some of you are either not doing or many of you are already doing that you can give yourself a big pat on the back. And I've got patients that now I've been getting adjusted 23 years. I have patients in the office. We opened in 2015. I have patients that have been coming regularly for 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. I have some patients that have been coming over 11 years of regular, consistent chiropractic care. And it's no coincidence that the population that gets adjusted have significant better health outcomes than people that don't get adjusted. We're talking over 60% less hospital visits, over 60% less outpatient procedures. And get this, people who get regular chiropractic care for 5 years or more, they spend 85% less on pharmaceutical costs than those who do not. So that's pretty cool. And I hope you guys learned some great things tonight, what you can do to avoid some of these common toxins, some great protocols to be able to eliminate them if they are, and and really have some action steps and some good takeaways.